My throat feels like I swallowed a handful of dry sand. Every breath is just thick, hot humidity that doesn't actually hydrate anything. I'm standing in the middle of the densest green hell you can imagine. And for the first time in 10 years of doing this, I'm actually I'm actually a little scared. I've got nothing, no lighter, no tent, no water filter, just my knife, my canteen, and 5 days of this ahead of me. I just saw a spider the size of a dinner plate crawl under a root near my foot, and the sun is already starting to dip. If I don't find water in the next hour, well, day one might be the only day. This is the Amazon, and it doesn't care if I'm ready or not, so here's the deal. I wanted to see if I could actually handle the big one, the Amazon. I've done temperate forest, I've done the desert, but this place is different. It's loud, like constant buzzing and clicking loud. I got dropped off by a small boat about 3 miles back, and the goal is simple: stay alive for 5 days and make it to a specific bend in the river for pickup. No food, no water, no gear. Looking around now, though, man, the simple part of that plan is already starting to feel pretty stupid. The ground is soaked, but the water is stagnant, full of rotting leaves and who knows what kind of parasites. I need to find a way to get clean water, and I need to do it before I lose the light. Walking through this stuff it's like moving through a giant wet sponge. Every step is a struggle against vines that want to trip you or thorns that want to grab your skin. I'm looking for specific indicators, signs of life that lead to moving water. In the Amazon, you look for the low ground, obviously, but you also look for the giant ferns. See those over there? The really big neon green ones? Usually means there's a constant moisture source nearby. I'm trying to keep my head on a swivel, looking for snakes mostly. Fer-de-lance. Snakes love this leaf litter. They blend in perfectly, and one bite out here, yeah, game over. No one's coming to save me. I've been walking for maybe, I don't know, 40 minutes. My legs are already scratched up, and the sweat is just pouring off me. It doesn't evaporate here. It just stays on your skin, making everything slippery. Looking at this footage now, I look pretty calm, right? But honestly, in that moment, I was thinking about how easy it would be to just signal the boat to come back. The scale of these trees, it makes you feel so small. It's humbling, but also kind of terrifying. Anyway, I found something. Not a stream, but a trail. A tapir trail. It's muddy and deeply rutted. Animals go to water, and they usually take the path of least resistance. I'm gonna follow it down this slope and see where it leads. Fingers crossed. Okay, so the trail led me to a small depression. It's not a running stream, it's more like a seep. The water is just barely moving over some clay-heavy soil. It looks like coffee, dark, murky, and definitely not something you want to just scoop up and drink. If I drink this raw, I'm going to be dealing with some serious stomach issues in about 48 hours. And Giardia in the jungle is a death sentence because you just dehydrate faster than you can find more water. I need a way to filter this, or better yet, I need to find a water vine. I've seen them in books, but finding one in the wild? That's the real test. Scanning the canopy now, looking for those thick, woody lianas that hang down like giant ropes. Not all of them are safe. Some have a milky sap that's actually toxic. You gotta find the right one. There. That one over there, it's about as thick as my wrist and has that rough brownish bark. I'm gonna cut a section. You have to cut the top first, then the bottom. If you cut the bottom first, the vacuum pressure keeps the water inside and you get nothing. Knife out, cutting the top. It's tough, really fibrous. Now the bottom. Let's see. Come on. Oh man, look at that. It's actually working. It's not a lot. It's a slow drip, but it's crystal clear. I'm gonna taste a little first. If it's bitter or tingly, I spit it out. But this tastes, wow. It tastes better than tap water. It's cool. It's refreshing. It's like the jungle is finally giving me a break. I'm gonna sit here for a while and just let this canteen fill up. It might take 20 minutes to get half a liter, but it's worth it. My heart rate is finally starting to go down. First victory. Water. Check. Now that the water situation is, well, at least managed for the next hour. I gotta think about fire. I know what you're thinking. Alex, it's a rainforest. Everything is wet. Why do you need fire? Well, for one, the bugs are already eating me alive. The smoke is the only thing that keeps the mosquitoes and those tiny no-see-ums away. Plus, there's jaguars out here. I'm not saying a fire is a magic shield, but it definitely makes me feel a lot less like a snack. The problem is finding dry wood. Everything I touch feels like a wet rag. I'm looking for standing deadwood. That's the gold standard. Wood that died but didn't fall into the wet mud. I found a limb hanging off a cedar-like tree. It's caught in some vines, so it stayed off the ground. I'm gonna try to snap it. If it makes a sharp crack, we're in business. If it just bends, it's too green or too wet. First branch, bend. Nope. Second branch, crack. Yes. That's what I need. It's dry in the center. I'm gonna spend the next hour just gathering as much of this as I can. It's tedious, man. Really tedious. My hands are already getting blistered from breaking the wood, but I can't stop. I decided to try a hand drill for fire. I know. It's the hardest way to do it, but I don't have any cordage for a bow drill yet, and I don't want to spend my limited energy weaving vines if I don't have to. I need a hearthboard, a flat piece of dry wood, and a spindle, which is a straight, hard stick. I'm using a piece of that dry cedar for the board and a slightly harder wood I found for the spindle. This is where the post-commentary me kicks in and says, what was I thinking? Hand drills in 90% humidity? I was being way too ambitious, but hey, that's the learning process, right? My hands are sliding down the spindle, then I reset them at the top. Over and over, down, reset, down, reset. I'm putting all my weight into it. My palms are starting to burn. Like, really burn. It's been 10 minutes. Nothing. Not even a wisp of smoke. The humidity is just sucking the heat out of the wood as fast as I can create it. I'm sweating so hard it's dripping onto the hearthboard, which is the last thing I want. I gotta stop, take a breath, and wipe my face. This is frustrating. Really frustrating. Attempt number 4, or maybe 5? I've lost count. My shoulders are screaming at me. I changed my technique a bit. I'm trying to be more consistent with the pressure. Spin, 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 faster. Come on, dude. Just a little bit of smoke. And then, wait, I see it. A tiny, tiny little curl of gray rising from the notch. I don't stop. I go faster. My lungs are burning. My hands feel like they're on fire. But that smoke is getting thicker. It smells like toasted wood. The best smell in the world right now. I stopped. I'm breathing like I just ran a marathon. There it is. A tiny ember. I'm not touching it yet. It needs to grow. I'm gently fanning it with my hand, watching the glow get brighter. I've got my tinder bundle ready. It's a bunch of dry palm fibers I spent 20 minutes shredding earlier. I carefully transfer the ember into the bundle. This is the moment of truth. If I blow too hard, I blow it out. Too soft, and it dies. Gently. Just a little breath. More smoke. More. And flame. The yellow light hits the trees around me, and honestly, I almost wanted to cry. It's just a tiny fire, but in this place, it's everything. It's a tiny circle of home in the middle of the chaos. I'm feeding it small sticks now, one by one. I can't let this go out. I've spent way too much energy on this. Looking at the camera now, I'm smiling, but man, I am exhausted. It's only day 1, and I feel like I've been out here for a week. As the sun disappears, the jungle it changes. The birds go quiet and the insects take over. The sound is incredible. It's like a wall of noise. I'm building a very basic lean-to shelter near the fire. I'm using large palm fronds. The ones from the Babatsu palm, because they're huge and waterproof. I'm just propping them up against a fallen log. It's not pretty, and it's definitely not bug-proof, but it'll keep the dew off me. I'm laying down on a bed of more palm leaves, trying to get comfortable. Every little sound makes me jump. A branch breaks in the distance. Is that a jaguar? Probably just a falling limb, but my brain goes to the worst case scenario. I'm lying here, staring at the embers, thinking about how much I take for granted back home. A bed, a door that locks, a glass of water. I've got 4 more days of this. I haven't eaten anything yet, and my stomach is starting to complain. But that's a problem for tomorrow. For now, I just need to keep the fire going and try to get some sleep. Wait, what was that? Something just splashed in the seep I found earlier. Something big. I'm sitting up now, staring into the dark. I can't see anything past the light of the fire. The jungle just swallowed whatever made that noise. Man, this is gonna be a long night. I thought I'd solved the water problem for the moment, but the day had a surprise. I can feel the air changing. It's getting heavy, like really heavy, and then I hear it. A low rumble. That isn't an animal. It's the sky. A storm is coming, and my little palm leaf roof? Yeah, it's not gonna be enough. The wind didn't just pick up, it slammed into the canopy like a freight train, and then the sky just opened up. Amazonian rain isn't like regular rain. It's heavy, it's loud, and it's cold, which is weird because it's like 90 degrees out. But when you're soaked to the bone, your body temp just drops. My palm leaf lean-to? Yeah, it held for about 5 minutes. Then the water started finding the gaps. Then the gaps became streams. I'm sitting here, huddled as close to the log as I can, trying to keep my fire from drowning. Fire is life out here. If I lose it now, I'm sitting in the pitch black, soaking wet for the next 8 hours. I'm desperately grabbing more palm fronds and just piling them on top of my little roof. Not even weaving them anymore, just stacking. Looking back at this footage, man, I look like a drowned rat. I was shivering, like teeth chattering, shivering. It's a good reminder that even in the tropics, hypothermia is a real threat if you're wet and the wind is blowing. I eventually had to give up on the fire. The rain was just too much. I tucked the last few glowing coals into a hollow, dryish part of the log and covered it with a thick layer of ash and a large leaf, hoping, just praying, they'd still be alive in the morning. Morning of day 2. Everything is dripping. Everything is gray. My bed is a puddle. But I checked the log, I pulled back the leaf, blew on the ash, and a tiny, beautiful orange glow winked back at me. I survived the night, and so did the fire. But, man, the hunger is starting to get real now. My stomach isn't just growling, it feels like it's shrinking. I need calories. In the Amazon, food usually means one of 3 things. Fruit you can't reach, fish you can't catch, or bugs. And since I don't have a fishing line, bugs it is. I'm looking for a fallen palm tree, specifically one that's been rotting for a while. That's where the Rhynchophorus larvae live, better known as suri or palm weevil grubs. They're basically giant, fatty maggots that live inside the trunk. Found one. It's a fallen Padua palm. I'm using my knife to hack into the soft, pulpy wood. It smells like fermented fruit and old socks. Digging deeper, and oh yeah, there they are. Huge, white, cream-colored grubs with little brown heads. They're actually a superfood out here. Pure fat and protein. The local tribes love them. Me? I'm still trying to get past the fact that it's moving. You're supposed to bite the head off first so it doesn't bite you back. Yeah, they have little mandibles. Okay, here goes nothing. You know what? It's not bad. It doesn't taste like a bug. It tastes like coconut flavored bacon or maybe creamy almonds. The texture is the hard part. It's pop followed by goo. But honestly, When you haven't eaten in 30 hours, it's the best thing in the world. I found about 15 of them. That's probably 500 calories right there. My brain is already starting to clear up. It's amazing what a little fat does to your morale. Day 3. The honeymoon phase, if you can even call it that, is over. I'm covered in bites. My ankles look like I walked through a hive of angry bees. Every time I stop moving, the sweat bees swarm my eyes and ears. It's a mental game now. I decided to move my camp closer to a small tributary I found about a mile away. Better chance for food, and maybe, just maybe, I can find some clay to make a primitive pot. Boiling water is way safer than vine dripping for 5 days. Walking through the secondary growth is a nightmare. It's called jungle rot for a reason. Every tiny scratch on my legs is starting to get red and puffy. I found some dragon's blood sap. It comes from the Croton lechleri tree. It's this thick, red resin that looks exactly like blood. I'm rubbing it on my scratches. It acts like a liquid bandage, kills the bacteria, and seals the wound. Nature's pharmacy, man. It's incredible what's available if you know where to look. I spent the afternoon by the river. Found some clay in the bank, the gray, sticky kind. I'm trying to shape it into a basic bowl. I'm not a potter, okay? It looks like something a kindergartner made. But if I can dry it by the fire and then fire it until it hardens, I can boil water. This is a high-risk, high-reward move. If the pot cracks while it's full of water over the fire, I've wasted 4 hours and a lot of wood. Looking at this footage now, I look exhausted. I was. The heat just drains you. I'm constantly drinking that vine water, but I can't keep up with the sweat. I learned that the hard way today. I stood up too fast and almost blacked out. My heart was racing. Dehydration is a sneaky thief. I had to just sit in the river for an hour to bring my core temp down. It's the only way to stay cool. Day 4 was the crisis, the big one. I woke up and the river had risen 3 feet from more rain upstream. My clay pot, gone, washed away. My fire, drowned again. And to top it off, I found a botfly larva in my arm. If you don't know what that is, don't Google it. It's a parasite that lives under your skin. I felt this ticking sensation in my bicep. I had to use tree sap to suffocate it, and then, well, let's just say it wasn't a fun morning. I was at a breaking point. I sat under a giant kapok tree and I just sat there. I didn't want to move. I didn't want to hunt for grubs. I just wanted a cheeseburger and a cold Sprite. This is the part of survival videos people don't see. The boredom and misery phase. It's 90% waiting and 10% trying not to quit. I had to have a serious talk with myself. Alex, you chose this. You're here to test yourself, so get up. I decided to try for a victory meal. I found a stand of wild cacao. Most people only know the seeds for chocolate, but the white pulp around the beans, it's like candy. It's sweet, tart, and full of electrolytes. I cracked open 4 pods and just gorged myself. It gave me that sugar rush I needed to rebuild. If I could go back, I would have searched for the cacao on day 2, but that's survival. You don't know what's over the next ridge until you're too tired to climb it. Day 5, the final push. I'm weak. My legs feel like lead. I've lost probably 8 or 9 pounds in 5 days. I'm making my way toward the extraction point. The jungle feels different now. I'm not scared of it anymore. I'm just part of it. I'm moving slower, quieter. I saw a group of capuchin monkeys this morning, and instead of them screaming at me, they just watched. It was a cool moment. A little bit of that YBS energy came back. Just pure awe for this place. I reached the bend in the river 3 hours early. I built a signal fire, just in case. Sitting there on the bank, watching the water go by, I realized something. You don't beat the Amazon. You just survive it. It's a place that demands respect. If you come here with an ego, it'll break you. If you come here willing to learn, well, it might just let you leave. Would you do this? 5 days? No gear? Let me know in the comments. Genuinely, I want to know if I'm the only crazy one, or if you'd take the challenge too. If you've got tips for that botfly situation, definitely comment those because, man, that was a first for me. I can hear the engine of the boat now, the sound of civilization. It's a weird feeling. Part of me is relieved, but part of me is going to miss the silence. Well, the loud silence of the jungle. I'm going home to a hot shower and a very large pizza. Thanks for coming on this journey with me. It was a rough one, but we made it. See you in the next one.